So in this week's episode, me and my roommate decided to rent a condo in North Myrtle. We're on a little bit of a mini vacation. And we decided to give Get 'Em to the Greek a good old-fashioned watch. In lieu of all of the P. Diddy stuff going on in the news, the videos that leaked from the hotel having to do with Cassie, we thought it'd be an interesting idea to give that movie a watch. And you'll find it interesting because some of the behavior from P. Diddy's character in that movie bears a striking resemblance to some of the accusations that have been put on him in these lawsuits. So we'll get into all that and more later on Lost Docs Media, the podcast.
Say you lost?
Well, is there an aux input?
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Hit the aux button.
You are lost.
He's arguing it's media.
Digital media.
Instagram media.
No media whatsoever.
Lost Docs Media.
Bruh.
So let's get Him to the Greek.
Let's get into it.
So what did you think about it? I've seen it already. You have not seen it. And you are also, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You are also a little more in tune with the TikTok universe than I am. Yeah. So you get all the Diddy, the juicy TikTok, the Diddy TikTok. So before I ask you how you thought of the movie, let me rephrase it. Like, with having your perspective and all that TikTok rigmarole going on in the back of your mind, what did you think about the movie, seeing as how Diddy is a prominent role in that movie?
I feel like Diddy didn't really have to act, that role was basically him.
Yeah, right? It's like all the allegations are true. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Like, some of those scenes he just nailed.
Yeah. Dude, the one where they're at the party, right? Like the night before the Greek concert at the theater, and the Jeffrey gets passed around and all that. Before all that Jeffrey stuff, and Diddy pulls that girl and he's like, you're going to have sex with him right now. And he points to Jonah Hill's character. I was like, this is a bad look. I was like, that clip did not age well at all. It was so bad.
Yeah. I imagine the director's like, cut.
I mean, at the time, they were probably loving it. You know, you think that movie's, I think it said it was in 2011 that movie came out. What were the allegations like around 2011?
I don't know timelines.
Yeah. I wonder. Do you think the shooting was around 2011?
What shooting?
Because wasn't there like the nightclub shooting thing, and he was dating Jennifer Lopez at that time, was he not?
Yeah.
You think, was that around 2011?
I don't know.
Huh.
I'm going to say maybe.
I'm bad with timelines too.
I didn't keep up with that shit back then. There was no TikTok.
True that. There definitely wasn't. But I wonder if like that played some sort of, the whole... The nightclub shooting thing, like, let's say that happened prior to Get 'Em to the Greek, which I think it did. I'm pretty sure they were dating, J-Lo and Diddy were dating way before 2011. I would imagine, right? They were dating like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Is that when that movie was made?
2011 is what it said on Hulu. Get 'Em to the Greek.
So when was Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
I guess maybe 2007-ish.
Really?
That would be my guess. It could have been 2009 or 10.
I don't feel like it was that old.
But yeah, so I wonder if, like, let's say the nightclub thing happened prior to Get 'Em to the Greek. I wonder if that whole, like, stigma around Diddy, they're like, oh man, Diddy's a bad boy. We should write this crazy record label exec role for him. And then they just smashed him in there like a perfect puzzle piece, man. He just fits so good into that. Like, isn't it crazy knowing, like, seeing the stuff now with the allegations, and then you watch back and see that movie and you're like, what the fuck?
Right?
You know?
But he's always, even back then specifically, had the playboy reputation of throwing the big parties that were outrageous and out of this world. Like, everybody in the industry loved him. Yeah.
And
I'm sure
they're playing like, is it cake with like a baby? They're like, everybody's dressed in white. They're like, is it cake or is it not? They pull out a baby on a plate. Yeah, I've always heard some crazy shit about him. Like, and some of the I don't know. It's just funny seeing the stuff with some hindsight on it, you know.
I know, but think all those people that went to his parties, like the potential tapes out there of some of the after party, you know.
I would imagine they're wild. He probably like started the whole. You know how now at comedy shows they put your shit in those bags, your cell phones.
Those clear bags.
Sometimes they're clear. They basically make you give them up so that you can't record shit out of context. You know, Diddy probably started the game on that. He's probably like, if you're coming to my party, you're gonna lock that shit in a fucking what's that? Those things that like you can't get any cell phone signal in or out. They're called like Theracages or something like that. Some weird shit
Never
like that.
heard of it.
It's like a type of box that you can buy, and if you put like your cell phone in it, it can't get signal in or out. And he's like making everybody put him in that. He's like, nobody is recording shit at these parties, dude.
Well, there's that one video floating around of him patting down Justin Bieber. It looks like he's patting him down for a wire, so he probably had some bad experience.
Very interesting. Interesting clip. I did see that. Reminds me of the part in Get Him to the Greek where he's high on the Jeffrey and he's rubbing the wall. He's like, I'm gonna cover my whole house in this shit. He's like rubbing Justin Bieber, like, But yeah, there's and it's sad to see, like, because I hate to be that guy, but Diddy's character's fucking hilarious in that movie.
How?
He's fucking hilarious, dude.
He's himself.
I know, like I said, it's crazy seeing it in hindsight. But I'll tell you, when I watched that movie for the first time, my outlook on Diddy was a lot different than it is now. It was practically non-existent. I really didn't care about the guy either way. But that character was fucking hilarious. There were so many classic one-liners that came out of that movie, like when he's talking to Jonah Hill in the office and he's like, can you feel my dick fucking your mind? He's like, yes, I'm fucking your mind. Like, you know how many times I've heard that just at parties or just random, like when that movie first came out? It was madness.
Yeah, but again, he's playing himself. What was that show he had on MTV, Making the Band, with that Danity Kane? He was a fucking out of control then. If you rewatch those episodes, he was an asshole.
Dude, Dave Chappelle did the best fucking skits off of that. Have you ever seen the skits that he did making fun of Making the Band?
No.
Oh my God. I got to show them to you later. So basically, you know how in Making the Band, you said he was a big asshole, and he'd be like, go to Brooklyn and get me something, but you can't take the bus. You got to walk. And it's like 24 miles. Like, he was doing shit like that to them. Dave Chappelle was making fun of it with skits like that. He'd be like, walk down to the Bronx and get me some Cambodian breast milk. and he's like pretending to be Diddy. And in the skit, he hired all of the actual people from the show. So it actually the skit actually looks like Making the Band because all of the rappers and shit are in there. And he did it with the people that had like Dylon and shit. You remember Dylon? Mm-mm. He's like, who are the 5 greatest rappers? Dylon, and Dylon. But he had those guys in the skits. And he'd be like, yeah, go to the Bronx and get me some Cambodian breast milk. Or he'd be like, I need you to get me a fresh baked apple pie from a midget in Queens. Or something. Like, he'd just say all sorts of crazy shit. And then whenever they didn't succeed with it, every 5 seconds he'd be like, I'm shutting the studio down. And you know how he was always saying that in the show. So Dave Chappelle just trashed him, but it was very funny. It was very funny. I got to show you those skits sometime.
Bro, imagine having to work for Diddy.
I couldn't.
Like how he treated his employees. Can you imagine like having to kiss somebody's ass for probably not a lot of money? And they all do.
No. I couldn't imagine having a kid. Why do you think I started a podcast? I eventually don't want to kiss anyone's ass. You know what I mean? I'm trying to take this bitch independent. But no, I couldn't imagine. Like, maybe 15 years ago or something, if you came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to work for Diddy?" I'd more than likely say, "Yeah, sure. That sounds like a great opportunity."
You wouldn't today, though.
No. What, are you
Bullshit.
fucking kidding me? No. Why? So I can get fucking Little Rod Jones
Yeah.
and get raped?
Get your foot into the industry. All the people you can meet.
Yeah, but I don't want to get my foot into the industry by getting Cuba Gooding in my ass. Like, you know what I mean? That's crazy talk.
So you're not there yet.
No. No. We haven't hit that crossroads. No, I wouldn't quite say that. You know who I bet had it good working for Diddy though? Was that Hype Man.
Hype Man.
You don't remember that guy that would do like the weird dances? He was skinny and had like the umbrella all the time.
No.
I forget his fucking name. He had a very strange, like, it was like a Belvedere Bentley or some weird kind of shit like that. He was a skinny, tall, black dude. Had a very Andre 3000-esque style fashion sense.
He, him?
I mean, back then it wasn't really a thing, but I guess he, him. He was a total he, him. And
No, I don't remember who you're talking about.
Yeah, he just was pretty much Diddy's like, dude. He just was anytime you saw Diddy, you saw him. I think it was even around the time that he was going by Puff Daddy still. I think he hadn't crossed over to Diddy just yet.
Oh, man.
I think he was still doing the Puff.
No, is he still alive?
I guess so. If I would imagine, you know, all these people that were hot back in the day and don't seem socially relevant now are all social media influencers. You know what I mean? This guy's probably got 250, 500,000 followers on something. He's probably doing all that shit now is what I would imagine. But yeah, so you didn't think the movie was, did you think the movie was funny?
Yes.
It was a slow burn.
It
right?
was a lot slower, so haven't seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall and what a cult classic that's going to become. And knowing, I didn't know this was anything related to that. You pointed that out to me before we started watching it. But knowing that, after you said that, like, yeah, I was a little let down.
Because Forgetting Sarah Marshall, you see this guy's dick in like the first 3 minutes of the movie. He's like crying and shit. So fucking funny.
No, I think they had a lot of guest comedians on Forgetting Sarah Marshall a lot more. That made it funnier.
Yeah, really the only the biggest set of comedian cameos was when they were having the idea meeting, like the think tank meeting in the office of the CEO for the record label, Diddy's character. Nick Kroll gets fucking trashed in that, dude. That shit was funny as hell. He's like, he discovered Chocolate Daddy. How many units you sell? 15,000. Like,
Chocolate
15,000 units is such, dude. I'm telling you, Diddy's character, I think, is still funny. Can you separate the art from the artist, Tracy?
I could not.
Can you separate the art from the artist?
Like, he didn't even have to act.
Yeah, I'm sure he typecasted himself in there. I'm sure it was very nice.
Probably mostly ad-libbed. He's like, I got this.
Yeah. They were like, dude, Diddy, you just go in there. We got all the lines for you. We got you a teleprompter. He puts his like finger on the guy's mouth. He's like, shh. He's like, I'm gonna improv this shit. And fucking just nails every second of it. They're like, oh, like everybody on set's head's about to explode. They're like, he's perfect. Especially that chase scene, huh?
Yeah, that was almost like dead on.
Oh man, it was perfect.
He's just missing the white towel.
I was seriously laughing. So, dude, funny that you say that because I talk a little bit about the Diddy stuff in the last thing I recorded, and I said the same thing. I even put the clip in there. I was like, he looks just like the hallway scene in Get Him to the Greek where he's chasing them out into the street. Exactly like the Cassie video. Like the Cassie video. So let's talk about that a little bit. So it all starts with Cassie, right? we're real quick. We'll recap it. We'll jump right back in and get into the Greek.
Cassie?
The whole Diddy debacle, everything going on now. So it starts with Cassie. She's the initial lawsuit, right? Let's not split hairs and say, oh, it started with the J-Lo and the club shooting and stuff.
No, I was going to say the death of his wife, but okay.
Which wife? See, so you talk. Say your piece,
The
girl.
wife before Cassie.
Who was?
Kim Porter.
Who is?
Dead.
No, obviously she is no longer
It's
with
a whole
us.
other rabbit hole that precedes the Cassie stuff, but we can start with Cassie.
So, all right. So Kim Porter, who I don't know, she died. And I actually now I'm kind of thinking, I'm remembering a little bit. You had brought up briefly in the past when we talked about this that there's a little speculation that he might be involved with her death, no?
Yes, there's definitely some strange theories out there, but also some strange facts so his wife was sickly. I think they did like their son's graduation or something like that. And then a couple days later, she's all of a sudden sick with a pneumonia and dies from pneumonia.
But wouldn't the autopsy show that?
Yeah, that's what the autopsy said.
Okay.
She died of pneumonia. But her and Diddy were divorced. And she was dating or engaged or married, I don't know, to Albie Shore, who's another R&B singer.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically made a comment about Diddy being responsible. And then he ends up in the hospital, almost in like a coma or some shit. Just like, what's his face? Jamie.
Oh, Jamie Foxx. Wow, dude. This is a whole nother rabbit hole. Holy shit.
Supposedly, and I'm not too good with the tea on this one, but supposedly he was in the hospital as a result of something with Diddy.
Now, I will say, it is a very interesting how the Jamie Foxx stuff was swept. Like, nobody talked about it. When they did, it was very brief. People talked about the suspicions and the TikToks and stuff. But it's a little suspicious that he didn't talk about it that much. Right? Am I wrong in that? Did he not?
Yeah, kind of like what's going on with Kate Middleton right now. Like, everyone's saying she's died or whatever. All these stories floating around when the British can just come out and say, here she is, she's still alive. Like, make a public appearance, say something to keep people from making guesses. He didn't say anything.
In the Kate Middleton thing, didn't the royal family try publishing like AI generated photos of her or something like that?
They're saying the video is too.
You're not slick, royal family. They're like, let's get Midjourney on it.
But same thing with Jamie Foxx. There was so many rumors out there. He didn't shut him down in any way.
It's a little sus.
I think it's going to be a future lawsuit. He'll be the next one up.
Jamie.
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't know.
I feel like Jamie Foxx is too like I'm not gonna lower myself to fuck with that shit. I'm better than that. You don't think so?
He acting scared to me.
It could be that. I'm not. Yeah. All right. So now there's those things, and then we get to the initial Cassie lawsuit. That shit gets settled in a day.
Yep.
A little sus.
It's 130 million or 30 million, something like that.
It's big numbers.
I think it's 30.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Big numbers to pay out for an innocent man. If you ask me.
The next day.
No
negotiation.
Slap an NDA on it. It's as good as a Band-Aid. It's as good as any Band-Aid I've ever fucking seen, dude. So now, after that, it's kind of like people talk about it, but it simmers down. It's hush a little bit.
You know what? I wish we would have done some research.
I like it better this way.
There might be one more before Cassie, lawsuit. Like of someone that worked for him or something.
But they're not famous?
Right.
Fuck them. We don't care.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I don't think Cassie was the first lawsuit against him.
Yeah, let's worry about famous people.
The first big one that was settled in a day, for sure.
Yeah, Cassie. Let's not hang ourselves up over the fucking bellhop at the Four Seasons. The fucking didn't get a tip from Diddy. I'm talking shit, obviously, but
So when you hear that, what's your first reaction? What do you think? That he settled in a day?
Oh, immediately guilt, obviously, and anyone who wouldn't think that, you know.
So
what I mean?
your immediate thought was, oh, he's guilty.
Well, my thing is, here's my thing. If I knew that my side was ironclad, I'm taking it to court. It would more than likely cost less than 30 million. Like, I don't know the exact number. You don't know the exact number off the top of your head. Like I said, we're not researching, folks. Get over it. But so let's say it's 30 million. There's no way lawyer costs would have cost him 30 million to prove his innocence in that court case. You know what I mean? They couldn't have dragged it out that fucking far. So let's say he loses 5-6 million to prove his innocence. Why didn't he just do that? You know?
Because my initial thought was, what does she know?
That's exactly why.
She knows something. She's got evidence. She's got something.
Yes.
To make him not even try to fight it a little bit. Like, he wasn't even worried about his reputation being tarnished. Maybe he's that egotistical. He didn't think it would hurt his reputation because he's Diddy, right?
Yeah.
Like, he folded right away.
Immediately.
So she knows something. She got something.
And that's immediately, I couldn't have said it better myself. That was immediately why I thought guilty, because you're paying that money out because you don't want the dirt to come out. You don't want people to open that closet and see what's in there. And if she's going in there with obviously, as soon as it gets brought to the court case, they're going to start subpoenaing shit. They're going to start, oh, you're under oath, this and that. We're going to search your house, whatever. Emails, everything. He immediately knew. He's like, this 30 million will cost me way less than whatever the fuck will come out of this court case. And yeah, it's a little wild. But now with the new video that came out from, I think it was like a Four Seasons, right? Four Seasons hotel.
I believe so, yeah.
Now that's very, very interesting situation
I think
as well.
It's interesting of how did that get released? Has any update come on that?
Not that I've seen, but I haven't looked crazy into it either.
Because to me, like, it would either have to be the hotel, because somebody who worked at the hotel made a copy and let it leak, or the police, when they raided his home, got the copy that Diddy supposedly bought from the hotel, paid the hotel off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking it's the police.
It could be. I mean, because here's the thing that most everyday people would not consider when it comes to something like a video like this. So now when you hit me with that info before saying that Diddy had bought all of the tapes from the hotels, I was like, like, I had no idea about that. And then, so now let's say he gets all the tapes and stuff like that. Anyone who's involved in that's not him, with all this new stuff going around, including police that may have the tape, would immediately, you're talking about dancing with like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, because TMZ, any of those places like that, are going to pay top dollar for that tape. You know what I mean? So anyone who's involved with handling that tape who's not Diddy has some demons to wrestle with. And I do agree with you in that it could have been the police. Like, these are not perfect people here, you know?
I think there's some negotiations going on.
I got to move these pillows.
Some negotiations going on with what he might be charged with. And they're trying to get him to give up more people maybe or something. I don't know.
Could be.
And they leaked that video just to kind of show him, like, we're soft launching it. to the public right now. If you don't do what we say, we're gonna release more or something. I don't know.
That's interesting. Did you come up with that theory on your own, or was that TikTok?
Because I'm high, but yeah.
That's a good one though. That's why I'm asking, because that I didn't even consider that. Let's say they're kind of like trying to prod at him a little bit and make him sweat. Very nice.
But hey, the public already knows about her. We're gonna do this one.
Very nice. I like that.
The next one will be Usher or Justin Bieber.
Could be. But yeah, no, I didn't even. That's a very interesting theory. I did not even consider that. I like it though. It's not bad.
Or it was released to make more people comfortable coming forward.
There's that too. I mean, I think if people were going to be comfortable coming forward, they would be as soon as the Little Rod one hit.
Yeah, they don't want to come forward because no one wants to go against Diddy.
Yeah, but I mean, now it kind of no one would care about that now
because they released that video.
Spot. But you don't think even prior to the video? I feel like as soon as his house got raided,
no, because nothing really
season.
went to public besides Cassie. Doing her lawsuit and then getting settled the next day. Nothing has been public. No, it was just allegations. No proof yet. That video is proof, so undeniably no one's going to support Diddy. So people will feel more comfortable coming out with their story or going to prosecutors so that they can have enough for this. Is it a RICO case where they getting them on?
I believe so. I think as soon as it hits federal with trafficking and stuff like that, they throw that in RICO, that firearms, gang activity, stuff like that. It's all RICO. I actually still don't even know what that acronym fucking stands for.
Which one?
RICO.
Racketeering,
Indians, Caucasians.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ostriches.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Racketeering in Canada is outstanding.
I need to get a wine refill.
Go ahead. You're good. I can always hit a hard cut real fast. Just like this.
Do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I can't help 30 years.
All right. You got that wine break on lock. The wine break is over. Yeah, you're good. This shit's now with this new recorder, I got double. I got backup on the computer recording, and I got this records on its own. It's got its own SD card and shit, which is nice. I love this thing. But no, going back to get him to the Greek. So what, you didn't have any favorite moments? Like the movies, it can't just be ruined for you because Diddy's in it.
When Jonah Hill sneezed. When he had the hair run up his ass and he sneezed. That was like excellent comedy.
When he's like,
yeah.
Classic, dude.
With his butt cheeks clenched.
Dude, speaking of butt cheeks, when they had the threesome, and at the end of the threesome, he kicks Aldous Snow out. And he just looks around the room and goes, "Where the fuck are my boxers?" And then it cuts to the back of him, and it's just him in a big t-shirt, and you just see just the bottom of his ass cheeks and legs. Was fucking hilarious, dude.
Didn't need to see that though.
Dude, old fat man skinny butt is so fucking funny, dude. Fat man skinny butt will always be fucking funny. In the right context, it's hilarious. It's guaranteed, like gangbusters, to be funny. And that was Fat Man Skinny Butt. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, unfortunately.
Where the love handles are fucking strong, but the butt is weak. You know what I mean? It's like if you push your two fingers together, and that's literally the buttocks. You know?
It's most men over 45.
Yeah, I'll hit it. I'll hit that one day. I'll have Fat Man Skinny Butt, and I'll embrace it. I'll embrace it really, really, really strong. It'll be nice. I'm going to be twerking that shit, dude. I'm going to be twerking my Fat Man Skinny Butt. All around town, dude. But
What was your favorite funny moment?
I like the movie still. I'm cool with Diddy, you know, being a
Just
demon,
Diddy.
and it
That's your
doesn't
favorite
matter.
moment.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Diddy was the funniest character to me. I thought he's the funniest character in the movie, hands down. Especially the chase scene, the whole like, I'm fucking your mind. He's like, you feel my dick fucking your mind? It's all about mind fuck. I'm gonna fuck your mind. And then the part where he's talking to Jonah Hill on the phone and he's telling him just shove the drugs up your ass. And you hold all the power in your ass. And then they get off the phone and he turns around to his kids and he's like, who wants to watch The Biggest Loser? It's Daddy's favorite show. It's Daddy's favorite show. It's just so fucking funny to me. That character reminds me a lot of Tom Cruise's character from Tropic Thunder.
Never seen that one either.
Oh man, we can watch that. We can do another one of these episodes with Tropic Thunder. Maybe we might do these like once a month or something like that. I think that'd be pretty funny to do a little like movie recap because you're not in all the episodes. So it'd be cool to get one once a month. Have my mysterious roommate hanging out in the background while I ruin this whole conversation for an hour. But yeah, Tropic Thunder's a good one. Tom Cruise plays kind of like the same type of character. Instead of being a CEO of a record label, he's the head of a studio, movie studio.
I feel like they went heavy with the drama.
In this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got really gay at times.
A lot of weekend sauce in there.
Yeah, they were slopping weak sauce on it a lot at times. Like when he's like, I'm lonely. I need somebody. And then he's like, yo, you're dying, dude. And this boy's, I'm still lonely though. Like, who cares, man? Shut the fuck up and make with the comedy.
Now, let's compare that to your funniest scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That's a good one. Because that one's pretty jam-packed.
Mine's the Dave Matthews
I don't remember that.
part where he's like gripping the phone between his butt. And he's like, yeah, no problem.
I don't remember that part.
He ends up being gay at the end. It's hilarious.
And that's Dave Matthews?
Exactly. That's
part?
what made it funny because he was playing that part.
No shit.
Yeah. He was with, oh no, wrong movie.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what are we talking about?
Yeah, you can cut that out. That was
No,
that
we
was
can keep
from
that
that was from what's his face? Jennifer Aniston and Just Go With It, where they go to Hawaii.
Oh, I've never
The
seen
island,
that one.
same island as Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, I've never seen Just Go With It.
And it was Dave Matthews and Nicole Kidman.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't remember Dave Matthews being in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I can't believe I just did that.
It's not a big deal. We're keeping it in, but it's not a big deal. But no, so I want to say my favorite part of Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Excuse me. We'll cut that. We're gonna cut the cough, but we're gonna keep in your mess up. All right. No, I'm just messing with you. We're gonna keep everything. My favorite part was when Paul Rudd was helping him out after he had the surfing accident.
Yeah.
And he's got the coral reef in his thigh and he's all screaming and shit. And Paul Rudd's like, you sound like you're from London, mate. Like, he's like, oi, bloody London. And then he like looks down. What does he say to him? He says like, I think you got a shell in your leg or something. He's like just retarded like the whole movie.
He's freaking high is what he is.
It's so fucking, his character in that movie is fucking hilarious.
He is. And I know somebody who's like that in real life.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No shit. Good old Paul Rudd, man.
He's a good guy.
He is a pretty. He's one of those actors that not many people hate. Have you ever seen the movie Mute?
No.
It's literally that's the movie. It's called Mute. It's a Netflix original, and it's like it's set in. But trust me, there's a good point to it. I promise. But it's a Netflix original. And it's set in like Neo Berlin. It's set in the future. And it's Neo Berlin, Germany. And it's about this guy who's mute and he's in love with this girl and they're living together and stuff. They're madly in love with each other. And she goes missing. And it's not a comedy. The whole movie is about this mute guy going throughout Neo Berlin trying to find his girlfriend, and he's like fighting these gangs and all this shit. But here's the kicker. Paul Rudd is the villain.
No way.
I fucking swear. And not only is he the villain, but he's so good in the movie that you actually fucking hate him. He's a piece of fucking shit, dude. And I've never seen him play anything even close to this. To this day, I've never seen him either before Mute or after Mute. I've never seen him play a character.
So who played the Mute character?
Do you remember the blonde guy who played Tarzan, the live action Tarzan?
Yeah, what's his name? He's like the Swedish guy.
Yes, he plays the Mute.
And he's
character.
so hunky.
Yes, very pretty guy, very pretty guy.
He was in True Blood.
Yes, he was like the rival vampire in True Blood. Yeah, same guy. He plays the Mute guy.
I can't believe I can't think of his name right now.
I've never known that guy's name.
And so he didn't have any lines?
He does towards the end. Without giving anything away, there's something that happens where like somebody fixes his throat at like the very end of the movie, and you hear his throat. But it sounds very robotic because like they just fix it with like a machine.
Gave him a voice box.
Yeah, pretty much like it's just some voice, and it's it's set in the future, so he sounds like some like crazy robot, but it sounds like
he's
him
still sexy, even with a voice box.
Very good looking guy. Very good looking guy. It's funny. This is like literally the first minute of the movie, so this is literally not giving anything away. But he loses his voice because he's like in like a boating accident, and I think like the rudder hits his throat, and his family is Amish, and they won't take him to the hospital. So that's why he can't talk.
Amish.
Yeah, dude. I swear to God, that's like literally the first 30 seconds. It opens with that shot. So like, yeah, his family's Amish, and they won't let the doctors operate on him. They're like, no, God will heal him. He's fine. And he's like fucking 5 years old. His neck is like fucking flopping open, and he's like dying. They're like, God is with him. He's okay.
Isn't it like Alex Skarsgård or something like that?
Probably. I've legitimately never known this guy's name.
It's like a very Swedish name.
Wouldn't surprise me. He looks like Swedish. He looks like a Swedish.
A Swede.
Yeah, a fucking Swede. So yeah, I want to say the ending of Get Him to the Greek was really gay.
The gayest.
Like that shit was lame, dude. When he was like talking to, I don't even remember the character. I remember Aldous Snow's name. What was the guy's name? Danny or some shit like that.
Yeah,
was
something.
Jonah Hill's character, and he's talking to him, and he's telling him, "This is all I got, mate. I gotta go on stage and do the concert. My arm is broken in 14 places, mate." And it got like just so fucking sappy.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is what I love to do. It's so sappy and weird, yeah." That shit, I'm not really with.
Yeah, they could have did without that.
It could have just went straight to him on stage. Something funny could have happened. He trips in the audience. I think it would have been funny if they would have did like an homage to Michael Jackson, and he caught on fire, like the Pepsi commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's hard to follow Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That was a good movie. That was a very good movie.
It's hard to replicate that.
Mila Kunis, man. You know, something about, is it Kirsten Bell or Kristen Bell? Kristen Bell. Something about her. I just cannot stand that chick.
Really?
She's very pretty, and she has her moments, but more times than not, when she's in something, I'm like, I just find her very annoying. Something about her. Now, don't get me wrong. Given the opportunity, I'm going to knock the bottom out of it. But I don't think she's a very good actress, no.
I like her.
Yeah.
I think she's a good comedic actress.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, even Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I didn't think she was all that funny. She was in funny scenes, and funny stuff happened to her. But I don't think she herself is funny. Like, if somebody gave her a scene in a movie and they were like, make this work, I don't think she could pull it off.
I do. What was that sitcom that she did?
The Good Place? Is that what you're talking about? I've seen a couple episodes of it.
I thought she was pretty good in that.
You know what's funny is I've seen a couple episodes of it. I thought it was a complete piece of shit. Every single person that I've ever heard talk about that show says it's fucking awesome. They love it. They love it. I honestly feel like it's me. I'm Taylor Swift. I'm the problem. It's me. It has to be because every single person I've ever heard talk about that show fucking raves about it. And I've never thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was whoever wrote the show, team-wise, they're brilliant. I thought.
It's probably the same fucking writers from 30 Rock. That's a fucking funny show. That was a great show.
So let's talk about the lawsuit after Cassie. That dude.
What, the Little Rod Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That one came with some clout. That one, I didn't read through it personally. I guess you can go online and read through the whole lawsuit.
mm-hmm.
But I keep seeing TikTok cuts of the different allegations against him in that lawsuit with like, they have he's got video evidence, like enough to make the feds go raid his house.
Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
This dude is the hero.
Yeah, and
he came with receipts and he was like, you're not gonna fucking pay me off.
Yeah. And he also,
I'm not going away.
I think also he has 50 Cent backing him too.
Maybe.
Because
he's got somebody helping him feel brave.
Yeah, I think it's 50 Cent because think about it, with the Little Rod Jones lawsuit coming out, and just like you said, prior to the Cassie video, people might have still been scared to speak out on Diddy. And 50 Cent had been talking about Diddy for a long time. He makes fun of him in public all the time. Then he was also posting stuff about his documentary. His production company has been making shit ton of documentaries for years now. And I think it would be like how 50 Cent has even said online, like, I will pay good money for anyone who's got photos, videos, anything. So if Little Rod was thinking about coming out in some sort of court case, don't you think it would make sense to hit up 50 Cent prior? You know what I mean? And have somebody who's like as big of a media mogul as 50 Cent to kind of have him as backup to keep Diddy away from him, kind of. Because 50 Cent would look at him like, this guy is vital to my documentary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could be right. It's not a bad theory.
Yeah. So I think there's definitely something to that. For sure. I don't know. Little Rod, that one's a tough one, man, because there were pictures of him getting felt up by Cuba Gooding Jr. at like a yacht party.
I know, and that's what's the most disappointing in all this is you seeing all the names associated with him. And you just automatically feel like they're nasty.
I gotta hit a Dave Chappelle on that one. Cuba Gooding Jr. is a rough one, dude.
Usher's the other one.
Well, see, Usher's a victim though, ain't he?
But still.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is on Diddy's side.
True that.
You know what I mean? Like, God, I've been saying like, Little Rod Jones, he came out and was saying stuff about Diddy having people like sexually assault him, stuff along those lines and this and that. And then all of a sudden these Cuba Gooding Jr. photos come out. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s like got his hand on his shoulders. You know, that's a little sussy. That's a little sussy. If you ask me, doesn't get any more sus than that.
Wow.
So
It just blows my mind that someone with that celebrity status felt comfortable enough, even though Diddy's parties are private, you're still doing it in front of a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Where there's going to be opportunities for people to take pictures or videos, and he felt comfortable enough in his environment to be himself.
I don't know, man. I really do think that there might be something to the whole Diddy being very explicit about no cell phones at his parties. You know, or maybe cell phones at the party, but no cell phones at the after party. You know, because I would imagine in these lavish Hollywood things, events, shindigs, whatever the fuck you want to call them, parties, whatever, that the crazy stuff's not happening at the party. Because the party is probably where the media coverage is, TMZ is going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then the after party, that's the invite that you have to get invited by somebody who was invited, you know, to get to the after party. And that's where I think the cell phones disappear, the baby cakes start coming out.
So let's just say that it's all true.
Uh-huh.
And he, through those type of parties. I think you and I both think they're true, but let's just say it's fact. Do you think after all these lawsuits, the raid on his houses, do you think he's thrown any parties?
What, now?
Yeah.
I think he'd fucking have to be an idiot to throw a fucking party.
He's
now.
got that ego, though. That he can't be touched.
I mean, he might be throwing some personals.
Just like the day before they released the Cassie video, he made like a Instagram post or TikTok something of basically saying how innocent he is and the truth will come out. Just time will tell.
I saw that.
And then like the next day, the Cassie video comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever released it probably saw that tweet and was like, now's the time. Hit the button. And they're like, we got to do this now. We got to strike while the iron's hot. Because that was on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. I think. I don't know. It could have been Instagram. I don't follow him on anything.
Yeah, that was a Kendrick Lamar move. Like, he just released it like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. Whoever saw that tweet definitely quick drawed that video. They were like, whoosh. Like as soon as they saw that tweet, they fucking spaghetti western that shit. But yeah, no, it's a rough look. Every single person involved, I don't follow any of them. So whenever I see like videos, get sources online, whatever involved in all of this, they're pulling out tweets and Instagram posts that I've never seen. I don't follow any of these people. So maybe it'd behoove me to, but they're not the subject of every episode of my fucking show. So
his twin daughters posted, I think they were prom pictures. Last week.
Yeah, but that's normal. Like you want to, if you're somebody,
Diddy wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, but you still want to send the people out to do the normal.
That was like
shit,
2 or 3 days after the Cassie video release. I felt kind of bad for him.
Yeah,
because how do you, as a child, you're like, they just released that shit of your dad beating the shit out of a woman.
Yeah, ain't no coming back from that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing? I've watched the whole thing.
I watched the part of him obviously running down the hallway, kicking the shit out of her.
There.
On the ground, stomping her. And then he grabbed her. I couldn't tell if he grabbed her by her hair, which is what I originally thought, or if maybe he had something else. Because the way he pulled her, like she was nothing.
I think it was like her hood. Pretty sure she was wearing like a hoodie.
He pulled her like it was nothing.
Yeah, I think it was like her hoodie or something.
Dragged her on the ground. And that's as far as I could watch.
So right after that, he drags her for a little bit, then lets her go, then grabs some of the stuff and goes back to the room by himself. Then he comes out of the room and starts hitting her again, throws her on the floor again, and then sits in. So they're by the elevators at first.
Yeah.
And then behind the elevators, there's the chairs that have the bay windows and stuff. So then it pushes to over there. And then at one point, he's sitting in the chairs. She's still on the floor. And it's funny. He's sitting in the chairs and he's still got his towel on. And he's just completely fucking spread. He's like, yeah, my dick and balls hanging out. But he's sitting in the chair and he's grabbing like vases off the end table and fucking throwing them at her and shit. It's kind of fucked up. But yeah, it was a rough look. The whole thing is just rough. And then right after the tapes come out, he goes and tries to put that apology video and stuff.
Yeah, that was... I don't know what they were thinking. That he had to do something, because if he said nothing, it would make him look guilty.
It's funny that you bring up that point, because I was literally just going to say that. The apology video is such a double-edged sword, because if you don't make one, then people are going to ridicule you for it. But if you make one right away, people are immediately going to go, he's guilty. You know, immediately they're gonna go, oh, he's guilty. Why is he making one so fast? What is he apologizing for? But then, like I said, if he didn't make one at all, people would demonize him by saying, and trust me, I'm not defending this guy, but people would demonize him and say, like, he feels no remorse for what he did. He's not even saying anything about it, you know? So the apology video is such a thin layer of ice to walk. You know, you got to do it just right.
Do you think he thinks he still has a career left? That he can come back from this? You think he's as delusional as R. Kelly?
I think he thinks it, yes. I think nobody else around him thinks it. If he's going to have any kind of career after this, I would predict it to be hardcore dedicated followers, which he's inevitably going to have. There's always a couple that, you know, are hardcore. There's guaranteed there's still R. Kelly people out there that are saying he didn't do the shit, you know? So it'll be his little minute group of followers that still fully supports him and believes in him. And it will only be like him doing social media. Just like I said, I feel like once people get washed up, they just squeak by on social media.
I have seen videos. I have seen videos out there. I think it was Jaguar Wright video where she's basically like, maybe it wasn't Jaguar Wright. Basically like Cassie knew what she was getting into. Like they don't feel bad about her getting beat because she knew she stayed because of the money.
Okay.
Or whatever. So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The lawsuit was bullshit, and you know she shouldn't have got paid that. Like she knew what she was getting into.
I totally get it. It's not like it's okay for someone to be like, this is the price you pay for the fucking rich shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not how it works. But yeah, it is weird. Everyone's gonna spin it their own way. Every side's gonna spin it their own way. And then when you get to these TikTok videos, I mean, some of the people that you're watching videos on that have one side, oh, I'm siding with Cassie, are probably also making videos talking the other way. You know what I mean? It's all clicks and likes and shares and all that shit when it comes down to it. It's kind of interesting to see somebody who once seemed so untouchable now just kind of, it's all crumbling down on him, you know? Because this is like somebody who legitimately 10 years ago you would have been like, he's untouchable. Oh, the nightclub thing happened, he got away with it. The wife thing happened, she died, he got away. You know, you're talking about some elite rap mogul right now.
Got away with killing Biggie.
Yeah, it's funny how all that stuff is getting talked about too. People are very suspicious of Puffy and talking to, because he also said a lot of stupid shit, which we'll start wrapping this up soon. But he's said a lot of stupid shit in his career. He's got videos of him being like, I'm savage, and then he's fucking like getting quoted saying, I'll kill my own mom or something to get fame or some shit like that. He says all sorts of, he said such stupid shit throughout his career that that's just, it's funny. It's ironic.
Oh, and there's one thing I haven't done yet on my to-do list is apparently before that video popped out too, his son released a diss track against Eminem, 50 Cent, and somebody else. I can't remember the third person.
Really?
But it's supposed to be pretty horrible. And
Jesus
like people
Christ.
are like, "Diddy, you let your son release that shit?"
Dude, all right.
I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know what it's about.
We got a good 15 minutes left. We'll wrap it up in like 15. But let's talk about Eminem for just a fucking minute here. All right. First of all, for Diddy's son, rest in peace. Eminem's gonna fucking crush him. If he comes back, Eminem's gonna fucking crush him. That being said, Eminem's fucking gay now, dude. I'm sorry, I have to say it. His music fucking sucks now.
What?
Yes. And everything about him is just very cucky to me. Like he has this fucking Just for Men dyed beard and shit that just looks really weird, and he's always wearing that fucking cadet hat, that flap
His
top.
natural hair color looks weird.
That's not his natural hair color,
Most
sweetheart.
certainly
I'm gonna
is.
tell you right now,
You do not
sweetheart.
know Marshall Matter.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that was his natural hair color. That right now is Just for Men. There's no fucking way, dude. That shit is way too thick. It's like staining his fucking cheeks. How are you telling me that's not Just for Men?
I can't believe you're talking about him this way.
I still think he's a great rapper. It's just he hasn't made any good music in like the last 10 fucking years. And then, I mean, not that I'm a big Trump guy, but the Trump diss rap was fucking lame as shit, dude.
I didn't listen to that, but I think his music's great. Even his new stuff he just released, his last album. So I don't know where you've been.
Yeah, I mean, I also am a little off. Like I haven't listened to his last album, so I'm talking a little out of pocket.
You are.
But I mean, even I listening to "You Want to Stand There and Watch Me Burn" and like Toy Soldiers and shit. I'm like, dude,
that was 15 years ago.
Gay. And it's been gay ever since then.
It isn't gay.
Like he came out with a couple of nice ones. Like Rap God was killer. Rap God was nice. I'm like, all right. Obviously nobody's keeping up. Busta Rhymes though.
Yeah, you might as well cut this out of your podcast.
No, this is staying in, dude. I feel very strongly
you should
about
feel
this.
bad. You should feel embarrassed. That
I feel very strongly about
you're
this.
talking about the rap god this way.
I'm not saying that he's not good at rapping anymore. I'm just saying he's fucking falling off, man. We're all talking about Kendrick, dude. We're done with fucking Marshall Mathers.
Speaking of
man.
Kendrick, the Kendrick and Drake thing heated up, right? Did you pay attention to that? The diss tracks back and forth, I don't know, like 12 times.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And now all of a sudden, the Diddy shit video gets released and you hear nothing on the Drake. Like it's not showing up in my algorithm at all.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. So before me and Andy stopped recording together, he had said something about that one time when we were recording. So apparently, so they were doing the diss tracks back and forth real hard. Kendrick was fucking slaughtering them. Kendrick was slaughtering him. Kendrick was coming out with songs. You said it earlier. Kendrick was quick draw. Like Drake drops a hit or whatever. You can't call them hits. He drops a diss. Kendrick's dropping a song like a half an hour later.
Like a sequel.
Yeah, dude. Like a half an hour later, and the songs are better, and they're better raps. They're better beats. There's more thought put into them. I will admit though, Kendrick gets a little savage. He's like calling one of his sons like a fucking homo and shit. Like,
yeah, you don't bring your kids into that.
You're like, dude, this kid is 10 years old. Kendrick's like, I wish you would die, you fucking faggot. I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, Kendrick, fucking chill, man. But
yeah, and it just stopped.
So all right, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked a little bit. So the disses are going hard, back and forth, and then apparently Andy had told me that one day Drake had tweeted like either a white flag or just like a white square on his Twitter or something like that.
Ooh, I didn't hear that one.
And was basically saying something along the lines of I'm gonna focus on this. It's coming to be summertime. I'm gonna start focusing on summer hits and blah blah blah. Which basically Andy said it kind of people have been interpreting that as him throwing up the white flag and saying like I'm done with
Enough's
this.
enough.
Yeah, I want to focus on other shit.
I heard again on TikTok, so I don't know how true it is. He sold his house in LA. Like he was abandoning the US and going back to Canada after the whole he fucks little girl.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown's probably
Kendrick
fucking
lyrics
pregnant.
Came out, yeah.
Yeah, he got Millie Bobby Brown pregnant, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get the fuck out of here." Like, he's like, "Sorry."
Can't even picture them together.
Who, Millie Bobby Brown and Drake?
Yeah,
dude, he's creepy with that shit though. Like, weren't they DMing and texting each other like back and forth for a long time?
I don't know.
I heard some stuff.
I don't know that, T.
I heard some stuff about Millie Bobby Brown and Drake. It's a little weird. You know what's funny is I'm so separated from certain sectors of pop culture. Before the Drake and Kendrick beef stuff started happening, I didn't even know how long Kendrick has been an artist for. He's been rapping since like the 90s, like the early 90s, apparently. This was not no knowledge to me. I thought Kendrick came out in like 2005 or something. Like, I just had no idea. I got really
Didn't
big.
He win a Nobel Peace Prize?
He won something big because I got really big into him when he dropped that album that had loyalty on it. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. You remember that album? Great, dude. That was such a fucking good album. That's when I got heavy into Kendrick Lamar. So I'm not saying that I thought that he existed like from that point on, but I didn't think it was much. I thought it was, just a little earlier than that. I didn't think it was fucking the 90s, Like, this guy's been rapping since I was like 3 years old. I'm like, that new Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? Like, it was so bad. And I learned all that from the beef. I watched like a video that kind of broke the whole thing down from the beginning. Apparently, Drake and him have been beefing for a long time. They just haven't been going as hard as they have been lately. But they've been taking stabs and shit back and forth at each other every now and then. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Kendrick was at those Diddy parties.
Was he?
I saw this TikTok a couple days ago of a reenactment of Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole.
Oh,
and
yeah?
this big beef that was going on at one of the parties.
You don't say.
With Diddy and J. Cole. And then, like, guns were being floated around and flashed, and Jay-Z had to protect Beyonce and basically tell Diddy that J. Cole is on his label or something. I don't know. And leave him alone.
And you're saying Kendrick Lamar was
Was
involved
part
in
of
that?
it, yeah.
All right, well, this has been a very interesting episode of Lost Ox Media, the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want Kendrick Lamar. You think he's involved in all that?
Sure, why not?
You think so? I don't know. I think Kendrick Lamar.
Does that hurt your feelings?
No, I'm not that attached to Kendrick Lamar. I fuck with him. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he could be involved. I don't see it being likely though that he is. It's fun to joke around about though. Kendrick Lamar. He got mathematical on that motherfucker's ass, boy. He was tearing it. He was killing them. Oh my God. Real quick before we go. Did you see there's this, it's from a while ago, but there was this video of this actor talking about how Will Smith is gay and he's getting like fucked in the ass by some guy. You didn't see that TikTok like months ago? I saw it on a podcast that I just watched recently, but it was so fucking hilarious. The guy's like, yeah, I walked in, I saw Will Smith and I saw Dwayne and he was killing him. He was killing him. Like, and he's talking to this girl interviewing him on a podcast. And the girl, honestly, on her face, she looks like the moon just exploded. She's like, like to hear that Will Smith is gay. She's like, oh my God. She's so freaked out. And the guy's just telling her, yeah, Will Smith, that guy was just murdering him. He was murdering him. Like, the guy's getting so fucking passionate.
Doesn't make him
about
gay. Makes him a freak.
It does make him a freak. All right, we can wrap it up on that note. So oh man, this has been fun. I think we should do this like once a month or something. This is really fun. We could do it in the living room too, over at the house or whatever. But so that's going to be it for this week's episode of Lost Ox Media, the podcast. Thank you for joining us once again. It's always appreciated. Be sure to catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else that you listen to your podcasts. Those go up every Wednesday at 5 a.m. And the YouTube episodes go up every Wednesday at 4 p.m. for video. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Yes! Oh my gosh! And hold my fart like a bong rip.
What? What the fuck?
Bruh.